When you act upon nature, and you can't help but interfere. There is no way of isolating yourself from the world. Every time you breathe, you interfere with something. See? But the art of Wu Wei is that when you interfere, endeavor to do so by going with the grain of things. In other words, if you want to split...
Good morning, folks. I'm Lee, the Pit Village Trader. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about a very important concept, which is that idea of when to lock in profits, when to take profits, when to, think about moving stop losses up so that you break even or make a guaranteed profit. And the position that we are relating this to this morning is Evraz PLC. So you know that I opened this a few weeks ago now, maybe it's 5-6 weeks ago, back in sort of the early part of last month, and we've had that position for about six weeks now, and it's sitting at a healthy profit today of £2,805. But because we have now broken past the previous trading range, which is this high point here, there is a good chance we might see a little bit of a sell-off and see this share price drop back. So the question that we've got to ask now is, how long do we hold onto these winners? We all know that we should hold on to winners for as long as we can, but how do you realistically do that? Because if you leave your stop losses, that's these things down here, your stops. So your stops are when a price goes against you and it hits a certain level, you close that position for a guaranteed loss. When you are in a position that's winning, it's very, very important, like in this position, to move those stop losses up to lock in those profits. So we always want to trade with the trend. We always want to go with the flow. We want to go with the sentiment, the wider sentiment in the market. We don't want to try and second guess things. We don't want to try and be smarter than anyone, because we're not. We're just normal people who are trying to make money on the markets, and we can only act or react. Basically, you can't predict what's going to happen. You can only react to what has happened or is happening right now. So what we need to do here, all these positions are really nice, but I want to lock in them profits now. So I'm going to move all of my stop losses up past the break-even point. So if I had it here, this position, if the share price turned against me and dropped back this far to this level, I would break even on this position. I want to be here, which would be a guaranteed, I don't know if you can see that figure there over the other side, but this figure here, £340, 34 points, if my stop was here, is what I would be guaranteed to make on this position. So I want to move my stop loss up to an amount or a position that I feel is going to be enough, going to give the stock enough room to move, but also guarantee profits. So I think I've just locked those three, moved those stops up in what's called a trailing stop fashion, and I think each one now, if we have a look, if we can see there's £261. So if this position turns against me, there's a guaranteed £261 profit here. There's a guaranteed £185 profit here, and a guaranteed £261 profit here. So that's 260 plus. That's 260 plus 235. That's 495 roughly, plus the 185 or 195 or whatever that might be up there. So it's roughly going to be around £700. So I am now guaranteed to make £700 profit on this position. I want the share price to continue going up, of course, because I'll make more money that way. But at the same time, I know that this price is going to swing back. It's going to. It has done here. It has done here. It has done here. All markets, nothing goes on forever. It's as simple as that. That there's always some momentum, that some volatility, some sell-offs, fear. The fear always comes in at some point, okay? People can't be greedy forever. At some point, the fear kicks back in, and then people start to sell off. So we have two options. We could take our profits here at this high point, which would result in, £2,835 of profit, or we can run it for as long as we can and hope that we don't get stopped out here. So as things stand, I am now £700 guaranteed on this position. That's it done. So that's really the kind of the main lesson that I wanted to talk about today. It's when you have those winning positions, make sure that you do lock those positions in, but you can only do that when you have enough room to do that. So here, the price would have to now drop 80 points to hit my stop loss, which it might well do. I mean, if you look at this swing here, it easily dropped from whatever this 666 down to 561. So it dropped 100 points here. So if we drop another 100 points, 692, that would take us back down to this kind of level. If the trend continued. But we're not going to let ourselves go that far. We're going to lock our profits in here and take our £700. Of course, you do have the option to cash in now if you want to, but if you do that, you miss out on any potential profits and increase in price that this share will experience. And as we've said before, in the famous rhyme, no one knows where the market goes. So we don't know. You just don't know. This might run on for another 100 points before it reaches this level, at which point we've then made another £3,000 in profits because we're in this position for £30 per point now. So that's and this is the point, the decision point where, although past the previous decision points, like doubling down here and trebling down here and then running this up to this point and then holding it through this peak, many people would have got out at that peak because that is, that's the peak. They'll have taken their profits and gone. So having the ability psychologically to hold through those decision points are the key elements, I suppose, really, that will put you in the top 20% of traders as opposed to the 80% of traders that lose money. And that's why I do it. And I, we're still trading with the trend here. So we're not trading against sentiment, and we've guaranteed ourselves £700 profit. So if my usual risk is around about £100 or whatever it might be, that risk reward potential is good. It's R7 in that case. If we normally risk £100 and we guaranteed now that we've won our £700, we're £700 in profit. So that's why we've made the decision. But the main reason is that we don't know where the market's going to go, and that's why we hold through these things. While we're in, we might as well chat a little bit about the other positions that we have open. John Wood Group is the position that I trebled down on, if you remember. I got in here, watched the price drop and the profit increase as the price dropped to here. Trebled down here because I saw no reason why this share price would suddenly start to trend up. It has had a couple of days of increase, but you'll notice that the highest price that this is hit is less than my original entry point. So despite the couple of days increase in price, the highest price it's been since we opened, it's still not touched back at that point, if you know what I mean. So the first position is still a profitable position, which to me indicates that my original reason for getting into this trade is still evidenced by the price action. And it's also worth mentioning here that I'm not trying to be right with this. I'm not trying to justify my decision from the viewpoint of being right or wrong, because being right or wrong doesn't matter. It's whether you're profitable or not. So you need to kind of shed that idea of trying to be right or wrong and focus on being profitable or not. And being profitable, the point I'm going to say is that you will get things wrong. You will put some wrong trades in. It's not that you will put wrong trades in. All your trades are right, but they might just move against you, and that therefore result in a loss. But you have to get out of that idea, that mentality of viewing your positions as right or wrong. Because you're going to get things wrong. You're going to lose money, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So you have to look at it, as I always say, you have to take a step back. You have to stand at a distance and watch the market from afar and not get so affected by these things that go wrong. You trade within that. I don't really want to use the word system because it's kind of an organic system. It's not a mechanical thing, although there are some base rules. I go with the market sentiment. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is just try and lose the idea of being right or wrong. Focus on whether you're making money or not. And in this case, you might think they're the same things, but they're actually not. Although this position has shown a loss, it still could be a profitable position. My stops are in place, which will hold, so there's no reason to change this yet. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. And we'll just quickly have a look at the others while we're here. Rent to kill, it's fluttering around the area where we want it to. Something's going to happen with this shortly. It's either going to break down, or it's going to bounce through this what people would call, technical analysts and all these professional guru traders would call these resistance points. It's going to do one of those two things. Obviously, it's going to continue to break through that, or it's going to break down. But at the moment, the evidence in the price action just on this screen, in this screen here, which goes back to 5th of February 2019, we've seen a 10% increase in price. So the evidence since February has been a 10% increase in this share price, which indicates, as evidenced by the price, that people want to be in this stock. People want to be in this stock for whatever reason they think they need to be in this stock. So unless something drastic happens, that reason for people wanting to be in this stock will be there wherever it may be. And, hopefully we'll see this continue on that trend. Of course, it's worth mentioning we are all speculators, and we all gamble. Is that the right word? I would say yeah. If you are spread betting, well, you got to look at the definition of what gambling actually is. It's predicting or trying to make a forecast on the outcome of an event, and share trading, stock trading, spread betting, all of these things are effectively gambling, because you no matter how many fundamentals you can see or read, or how good you are at seeing those fundamentals, unless you're inside the organization and have some real inside knowledge, you have no idea if this share price is going to happen. And even if you are inside the organization, the share price might still might fall based on some external event that you have no control over anyway. So it's nice to be honest with yourself and admit that this is just gambling. It is. I like speculating. Let's call it speculating, because it sounds more professional. Oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a gambler. I'm a speculator. I'm a professional speculator. Semantics, labels. Human methods of trying to understand frequency. We apply language to things in order to try and make sense of them, when most of the time none of it makes sense anyway. Okay, that's a nice little morning this morning. Everyone's looks great. You know, positions will look good. I'm not fussed about any of them. We're sitting at a £2,900, £25 profit in the account now. We could cash it all in and walk away, but we're not going to do that because that's not how we trade. All right, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much all for now. If you want to learn more about any of this, then come and check out my website at pitvillagetrader.co.uk. pitvillagetrader.co.uk. It's just in its kind of infancy. Well, it's not in its infancy because it's been online since 2011, but get along there, watch more videos like this, read more articles that go back all the way back to 2011 when I was just starting out, those journeys of self-doubt and self-discovery and discovering the markets. It's all there. It's all good reading if you're into this kind of thing. If not, then obviously don't go there. But if you are into this kind of thing, pop yourself over to pitvillagetrader.co.uk. You will also be able to sign up to my membership list with just an email address. It is completely free, and the reason why you might want to do that is because when I am about to open trading positions on an evening, so I don't open positions on an evening, but when I scan the markets for the positions that I want to open the following day, I do that in the evening, and where sometimes I'll put, I'll kind of identify 5 or 6 different stocks that I'm thinking about getting in the next day, and I'll just pop that in a video and share that with everyone on my membership list. There's also a couple of other things in there and some insightful, experience, some decisions that I've made, and just more general trading knowledge and information that I will send out as and when I have it. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Have an amazing day, right? It's Friday. Look forward to the weekend. Weekends are brilliant times. Volatility happens in the markets. Bullshit happens in the news. All things go wrong or go right at the weekend, so that when we get back on Monday, we see all of our positions have increased in value. Wonderful time. But most importantly, the weekend is a time to spend with family and friends and just relax. Have a good time. Value the life that's right in front of your very eyes now, and be happy and trade well. I'll catch you next time. Cheers. Bye.